Hello again, guys, it's Carly from the Poetry of Nice, and I have a haul video for you guys. This is a church rummage sale haul that I did this last Saturday. Some random rummage sale that I found in the middle of December, and I was thrilled with because I've been itching to buy stuff. Reseller problems. But everything you see here was a total of $25. It was kind of like a filler bag, and then they sort of guesstimate when you go and pay. And that included a donation to the church. I rounded it up a few dollars just because they're super sweet and they always give me a good deal. So what I'll do is just kind of jump in. Everything here ended up costing, I think it was 64 cents when it was broken down, which is a great deal. So some of the things are listed so far, especially the Christmas stuff. Some of the things are not, but I will just kind of take you through them and let you know where I plan to list them, and approximately how much, especially if I've done a little bit of research. Yeah, so let's just dive in. So let's start with the Christmas stuff over here. So you can see big old Christmas Garfield here with the big stocking that says "Stuff It." Gotta love him. Garfield stuff is touch and go for me, but the plushes seem to be selling okay, or they have in the past. I may be too late with a lot of this Christmas stuff, to be honest. I'm still selling Christmas stuff, but a lot of people have their decorations up, right? So anyway, if he has to sit a year on Etsy, that is okay. I have some space, a big tote for plushes and things. But so, like I said, everything's 64 cents. So he's going up for, I think, around the $20 mark. 20 to 25 is what I usually sell the Garfield plush. Although he does have a mark on his eye here that I can't get off with Goo Gone or anything. So that won't help. But overall, he's in good shape. And he's from, I think, the 70s is what his tag says. I also grabbed and kind of stuffed in my bag all these vintage candles. There is a lot of wear to them. This one's cool. But people still collect these kind of things. You can see the wear here. Check out his face. But like I said, everything was filler bags, so I just kind of threw in at the end anything that would fit. And I'm going to be selling these guys as a lot. And I think $14.95 is what I have them up for right now for the lot of these. And we'll see how that goes. I'll just kind of play it by ear, I think, really. Next thing is this mug. It's marked on the bottom Japan, so I do know it's vintage there from that. Also just the styling of it, great shape, no chips or anything, and this lovely like figural handle with Santa there and some gifts. So he's gone up for $12.95. I also got these in their boxes. Tattletale. So what they are is these little porcelain hand painted ornaments. And their tails just kind of hang down and they almost like tinkle like bells. It's interesting. But there were so many of these. I ended up grabbing 3 boxes. I could have grabbed like 8 more, I think. And then I kind of thought to myself, how many of these do you need? So I grabbed these and I put them up for, I think it was $15 a piece with a quantity of 3. Just disclosing that there will be some slight differences in condition. But I made sure I took some good photos to give that kind of variation to the buyers. I also grabbed these. They had little stickers that say made in Taiwan, and they're little wooden hand-painted Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. They are double-sided. Now, what I can't seem to work out is what do they slot onto? Am I missing a piece or what? You see they have these like little slots on their hands and feet. If you know, let me know. It's a mystery, but either way, they're pretty cool kind of vintage Christmas decor. So they've gone up, I think, for, I think I put either $19.95 or $14.95. I'm not sure. I might be pushing it with $20, but we'll see. Next thing is this. It's like a little crystal plate with a winter scene. Really, really beautiful. Great condition in this kind of bell shape in its box. And this is not listed yet, but I think I'll put that up for probably $19.95 as well. I got some vintage flashcards here, and they have, here, let me see if I can open them up and show you some of the illustrations. Oh, one-handed. It's not easy. It's incomplete. But these are the illustrations, so they're pretty simple. They're not like super, super vintage, probably early 90s. And there are some marks to them, but they will go up as a craft supply for around, I think $7.95 is what I've gone ahead and listed those for, because there's about 35 in there. I picked up this wallet. It says here, handcrafted genuine leather, and it's made in India. Really, really nice shape. I actually picked this up for my grandfather who's in England. He really wanted some kind of cool wallet if I could find one on my little travels. There's tiny little imperfections there, but honestly, it's really, really good shape. So I'll give him a chance, see if he likes it. If he doesn't, you know, it can be redonated. It was next to nothing. If he does like it, then score. Okay, and then I got this hand-stitched nativity scene. You see like baby Jesus in the manger with the star. I have no idea what kind of stitching this is, but it appears to be homemade because it has this like cardboard backing. There's no markings anywhere, and it's just really cool. It's like a wall hanging with this wooden rod here. So this has gone up for $24.95 since it's a handmade vintage item. Hey, if you need to know this stitch, let me know, just so I can learn, really. Very, very interesting. I don't know. Next are these braces. The only braces I've ever sold before, well, suspenders, I suppose is what you would call them. We call them braces sometimes in England, but I've only ever sold like the rainbow ones before because they are a very specific subject matter. But I figured I would grab all of these. Each one of them is marked, I don't know if you can, I don't think it's going to focus, West Germany. So I grabbed the 3 of them, just because they're quite classic. Got this one, and then the brown with the leather, and then this one says Pinch Pinch, and I cannot find anything at all on that, like as a brand or anything, but again, marked West Germany. So I figured for like 60 cents, why not, and throw them up. The last braces I got, suspenders, suspenders, I said, that I sold were the rainbow ones, and they sold like within minutes of me putting them up for $25. So I figured I'd give it a go. This is a large blanket, and it's kind of like a blanket I've had before that had more of a Southwest style to it. It's got this print with like lighthouses, very coastal, beachy, all this kind of stuff. A lot of good keywords there. Does have some wear, and it does have a small hole towards the bottom, unfortunately. Now the hole is close enough to the bottom that you could actually just kind of refinish it if you really wanted to, but either way, everything's disclosed and I've knocked my price down. So this is actually up for $49.95 for now, and I'm just going to feel that out and see how many looks it gets or any questions, and then I can just go ahead and drop that accordingly. The other blanket that I had like this that was more of the Southwest style actually sold once for $125 and got returned, and then it sold the next week that it went up for $99.95. So I figured $50 was a pretty good place to start. And then here's a Christmas thing I've almost forgot. Little Hallmark keepsake ornament from the 90s, and it is like a little Victorian, what did I say, Victorian painted lady, nostalgic houses and shops. And if you turn the ornament around, it's actually got like a little dollhouse inside with all the little furniture and whatnot. There is plenty of these on eBay. They do not go for much, but I put it up on Etsy for $12.95 since it's technically a vintage item, and we will see if it sells there, and obviously some wear to the box. Okay, and then onto the clothes that I picked up at the rummage sale. So the first thing I'll show you, again, 64 cents for each of these items. This vintage Disney sweater, you can see Goofy here. He's making up the Y with a handstand. Here is the label. I know it's vintage, first of all, just by looking at it. Second of all, you can check the RN number. Check that out online, and you can do some things like some calculations, which I do with a lot of items. It's not going to give you the exact date, but it's going to give you kind of an era to jump off on, and then all the other factors can kind of help with that, as is made in the USA. That contributes to let me know that this is a vintage item, vintage sweater, great condition. And picked up this US Army, it's a jacket, like I guess like a field jacket, and it is sort of like a waterproof material, very well made. Here's the label. And it's all complete with like the lining and the hood and everything like that you would need. So that's probably going to go up on eBay, not on Etsy. I don't think it is vintage at all. And that'll go up probably for around $30. Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm probably going to ask between $20 to $25 for the Goofy sweater. And the next thing is this sort of super 90s like mock turtleneck Mickey Mouse sweater. You can see there is some wear to it here, so I'll probably ask around $15 for this. Again, checking out the label, you can tell it's vintage from several different things, but also the made in the USA is a dead giveaway, as is kind of just the general look of the label. This is a really nice, it's lined, I don't even know, it's plaid obviously, and it's got these cool like pinks and blues running through it, but it is all lined here, so very warm for the winter. Made in Taiwan. Again, you can check that RN number just to give you an idea of the era, and if you're wanting to know how to do that, maybe I will do a video on that at some point, but you can just Google it, and there, like I said, there's like a formula you can put in to give you an idea of when that product would have, like the earliest it would have been made in the range and all that. This was interesting to me. Appalachian Trail, made in Korea. that gives me an idea that it's an older piece. And it's just like a, I guess like a hiking jacket. Again, really good shape, very, very thin, not jacket, shirt, very thin. But yeah, it definitely stood out to me. So I grabbed that, stuffed that in my bag. That'll go up with keywords like outdoorsy, outdoorsman gift, camping gifts, hiking gifts, all that kind of thing. And they'll go on Etsy and potentially on eBay as well. I just thought this was a really cool sweater. There's no marks on it, which is amazing for a vintage like white sweatshirt, but the funky flamingo from the Bahamas. Look at that. How cool is he? Size extra large. Here's my label. Just thought that was kind of cool. That'll go up on Etsy as well, probably about $20. This I'm not sure about. I do think this is old enough that I can throw it up on Etsy, so I probably am going to do that and take the chance. Very cool pattern. At first I saw this and I thought, oh, kind of like a Southwest pattern, I could put that up, but it says made in India. Does that matter? Does that matter? I still think it's kind of Southwestish. What do you think? What would you call that pattern? Or that print, I should say. Okay, there we go. It's just like a long sleeve button-up shirt. This I was super excited about. It's a vest, like a blue corduroy vest. It is vintage, made in the USA. I just, look at this lining with the plaid, and even the pockets align with the plaid. I just thought this was so beautiful. And then I got it home. Don't you just hate when this happens? And then look at all these imperfections all around the bottom. Oh, there's nothing I can do. I mean, I could hand stitch them all. I'm pretty nifty with the needle and stuff, but I'm going to sell it as is. I do think I'm going to list it. I'm going to give it a try, since it's 20 cents for like 4 months on Etsy, and just list it with the flaws and lower that price right down, because it is such a beautiful piece. It's very cool. And maybe if there's someone out there, and if they are, they're probably going to be on Etsy, that is handy enough to go ahead and fix that up a little bit. We'll see. Breathe some life into it. Next is this tartan, or I guess you could call it plaid as well, and corduroy jacket, fold over cuffs. These are fake pockets here, made in the USA, size 4. Just a really nice, almost like a barn jacket style when I look at it, with it being kind of longer with these cuffs and faux pockets there. We'll see. This I was super excited about. So this is almost like a varsity kind of jacket. It's not leather, it's vinyl, but it's really cool. Like, this color is probably not coming off very well at all, but it is stunning in real life. It just really